Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the Talking Sports Podcast. You see the title of the video, you see us right here, right now. We have a special guest on tonight, Air Raid Mike of the Air Raid Attack Podcast. Um, thank you so much for coming on with us and just talking sports with us. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing well, JD. No, thank you for you and Jeremiah for the invite. First time on the mic in quite some time. I think August something. I ain't gonna go and search today. Could be July. Don't know. But life's been busy. But no, honored and privileged to be on your show and looking forward to this fun show.
Yeah, absolutely. We had the pleasure to be on your podcast last year. And after that, the great time we had, I knew that this was something that we had to continue and we had to get you on our podcast. So thanks so much. I'm glad the schedules aligned
Absolutely.
and it worked out well. And we had a lot of good topics to talk about that kind of align with what we talked about last year too. So let's just get right into it. The college football season has been, in my opinion, it's been underwhelming. I don't know about you all, but I haven't watched a lot of college football, and it's crazy because beginning of the season I was so excited, and I even talked about it last year on the episode on yours, Mike, that
Hmm.
I was so excited and ready, especially looking forward to Clemson, where we are, where we live, and it's just been a travesty, honestly,
Hmm.
for a lot of my teams, but Clemson especially. Um, how's college football been for you guys this season so far?
Well, from my end, last year's debacle, finishing 6-7, first year in the SEC didn't go as planned. I know most of the games I would say was winnable. We got blown out. So, looking into second year, a lot of hope, with the NIL and the transfer pool that we were able to get John Mateer and Jaden Ott, which hasn't turned out so well, and a few others. So, for us, it was kind of exciting, kind of make or break. And here we are still, 11th in the country. We've already surpassed our win total from last year, which took us literally to Alabama to get that sixth win. Now we're at seven for this year. So it's exciting. I'm looking forward to this weekend. For sure, big test in Tuscaloosa. But overall, this season's been great. Kind of hope we don't fizzle at the end, but I'm not gonna lie. The talk of the town at work is playoff, and so we got
Yeah,
to win these last three. We got to do it. So it'd be cool to see playoffs, but hey, we got to beat Alabama first, though.
very true.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I mean, it's been pretty underwhelming. Um, I had high hopes for Clemson, as well as the other teams. We support Arkansas, Memphis, and they've all just been meh.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
and that's probably an understatement. They've been worse than that, but um, just haven't lived up to the expectation. That's been uh, that's been definitely underwhelming. I think it's interesting to see um, just how up and down it's been. I mean, as a whole. Um, but as far as Oklahoma is concerned, I think better than we thought, better than I thought.
Hmm.
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
uh,
for sure.
so. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys went out these last three, but I guess we'll have to see.
Hey, I think if we can get by Alabama, I'm with you, Jim. I think we can get by Missouri. I can think it
Yeah.
definitely with LSU with the debacle that's going on with
Uh,
Brian Kelly. So.
Oh yeah,
But Tuscaloosa 2:30 kickoff. So I'd rather have a day afternoon in Alabama instead of a night at time in Tuscaloosa because those night games, Alabama shows up those. So we'll
yeah.
see. But no, question for you guys. I mean, kind of curious. Do you think this year I want to say competition, but do you think the NIL, the transfer portal, starting to really not really divide the talent, but so much that everybody has a free reign. Now we're starting to see these teams, Indiana, who's second in the country, and
Mhm.
Vanderbilt was making a run, and so on and so forth. That now we're starting to see less of the what we always would say the typical teams. Now we're starting to see a mixture of teams out there. That the competition's starting to get spread out there now.
Yeah, and ironically, we talked about this exact same thing last year on your podcast and how the NIL and transfer portal were going to make a difference in these
Hmm.
teams, and we're seeing it. It's wide open. And the fact that you know LSU, Clemson, Texas, the teams that were 1, 2, 3, 4
Yep.
in the beginning of the year. Texas is ranked 10th, but they had a slow start. They've
Hmm.
had to trying to kind of come back into the spotlight a little bit with some wins late, but yeah, it's all over the place. And well, other than Ohio State, that's another thing that I was going to mention. Like that's another like for me, that's why I haven't been watching a lot of college football because when I watch Ohio State and how dominant they've been all season long,
Yep.
it's just like just give them the trophy already. Like it's I don't think anybody can really compete with them, and obviously we'll see
Hmm.
because Alabama's good, Texas A&M is good, but Indiana's good, but they just look unbeatable. And after winning the national championship last season, they're looking to repeat, and they look scary. But definitely, the transfer portal has helped a lot of different teams and has put some different teams in some good positions to really step up and succeed. And it's good for the sport. It really is.
Hmm.
That the parity that we have, like Jeremiah, you mentioned last year, Clemson and Alabama, they were just getting all the top guys, but now it's more spread out throughout. And with the 12-team playoff, we're gonna see a lot of that talent on display.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think definitely talent is being more spread out throughout the different conferences and the teams as well. And I think, of course, NIL has a lot to do with it. I think recruiting as well is a factor. Um, but no, I fully agree. Ohio State has been the dominant team, and it only takes me one time to learn my lesson. I thought they were a joke last year. Thought they weren't ready. Completely proved me wrong. So not doing that again.
We'll see. We'll see how they play against Michigan. I
We'll
mean,
see.
they still might come out and lay an egg against Michigan. If you and that's the thing about football. If you don't if you take a team for granted, you
Hmm.
come out and you just look past the team thinking that they're not worthy to be on the same field as you. You can lose
Mhm.
a game. So that's a rivalry for a reason. And
Yep.
they won the game last year. Michigan did, and some of those guys are back, some are not. But uh, it's the rivalry. You never know what can happen. So we'll see what happens for sure. But they look pretty unbeatable right now.
For sure. Keep your eyes. I know Georgia Alabama's the game, but keep your eyes on this Texas Georgia game. Excuse me,
Hmm.
Alabama Oklahoma. But this Texas Georgia game is the night 7:30 game. I think that might be a good one.
I'm definitely curious how Georgia comes out and plays against Texas because Georgia hasn't really they haven't had a solid game in my opinion yet this year. And I'm curious, neither has Texas, but I'm curious to see how Georgia comes out, especially with Stockton. He's been up and down this year, Georgia in general, but I'm curious. And then of course Texas gotten some momentum going, surviving Vanderbilt a few weeks, Kentucky, I believe last week. I think that's who they played, as well. So I'm gonna watch that one. Of
Yeah,
course after Alabama, regardless of how that route goes. I'm just curious Texas's standpoint and how they come out to play,
Yeah,
especially in Athens, and then of course, Georgia, who just hasn't really had that solid game on both sides of the field.
right. Yeah, yeah. They I think the defense has really struggled more than anything. Um, they really lack that defensive. They typically were a defensive juggernaut,
mm,
but they've had some teams put some points on them, and so that's
Hmm.
Ole Miss. There's one other team that put a lot of points on them. Maybe I think Tennessee. Tennessee, that's what
yeah.
it was. Uh,
Tennessee overtime game was, yeah.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be a good one. definitely gonna be a good one to watch for sure. A lot of good games this Saturday.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, yep, definitely. So let's talk about Alabama versus Oklahoma. You have insight unlike any other, just being in the organization. What can you say about the team going into this Saturday, headed to Alabama? Like we love Brent Venables. We know what type of coach he is, and it's a new Alabama team, and that's a lot of the word in Alabama right now is what they were saying that a lot of these guys didn't play last year. Some of them did, but it's a new team, new quarterback for Alabama this season. Um, but I believe that again, Brent Venables and this defense can slow down the Alabama offense and Simpson, Ty Simpson at quarterback. So what's the word out of Oklahoma coming out right now?
I think out of Oklahoma, I think the defense is really road. They kind of got exposed to a degree against Mississippi a few weeks ago. um, Mississippi had a headache, even though that was a game that Oklahoma let go. But the deal about it, this is the fact that Oklahoma's coming off of a bye. Oklahoma's pretty good for the most part, coming off of buys, even dating back to Bob Stoops. But you're looking at an Oklahoma team banged up, injured. Of course, John Mateer against Auburn, breaking his thumb, which I'll talk to about that here in a second. But you look at Oklahoma, the defense. A lot of people are starting to question it. And Mississippi scorched them for this amount of period of time, and so on and so forth. So you look at it, and they redeemed themselves, played a heck of a game defensively against Tennessee, even though early on it was looking like Tennessee was going to run away with it pretty quick. But it's going to be interesting how this game looks because you look at Alabama. You're going back to week one. Week one, they just flat out dropped it against Florida State. I don't know what happened with Florida State since then, but
Right.
they just flat out
It's been a
fell
complete
down the.
flip.
Yeah, exactly. They just completely swapped sides.
Yep.
Alabama's like, oh, okay, we'll go 0-1 while you guys are 1-0. Now you guys flip swaps and went with as my light went out. I just noticed that now. But no, it's gonna be interesting. Oklahoma's defense, you're looking at it. Alabama and their passing offense is legit, but Oklahoma's pass defense is one of the best in the country. You're
Yep.
looking at can Alabama continue to connect on the big plays, which is going to be crucial, especially against that secondary with Oklahoma. The interesting thing is Oklahoma's run defense has been top ranked almost, don't quote me on this, but almost majority of the season stopping the run, which is going to be a major challenge for Alabama, who a team that, I haven't watched many Bama games. I think it was only Missouri and Georgia, but they've struggled to run the ball most, in the recent games here. And so can Oklahoma practically force Ty Simpson to throw it to the air and in a way challenge their secondary to try to stop this Alabama team that is really good right now. Well, then you look at the quarterback play, and right now you're looking at two opposite quarterbacks. John Mateer has absolutely been inconsistent since that thumb injury
Mhm.
against Auburn in the SEC opener. His performance lately, I know last week or 2 weeks ago against Tennessee, first half he struggled. Second half he came back to life. But that's going to be the big. That's going to be what I call um, the biggest game breaker for Oklahoma is going to be John Mateer. If you get the John Mateer that's torched Michigan and played really well the first 3 games of the season, then Oklahoma has a chance. They haven't run the ball very well. I know Blaylock and Xavier Robinson X has done phenomenal, but the O line needs to do, has improved. I will say that. But, at the end of the day, Oklahoma's defense headed into the bye week off of that Tennessee win, which was a huge win for Oklahoma,
Absolutely.
is riding high. I mean, this defense is why Oklahoma brought Brent Venables in. He made it clear when he got hired on a suffocating, relentless defense, and I think this is now the Brent Venables dating back to Clemson, dating back to the early 2000s with Bob Stoops. This is a defense that has prone to them to that Big 12 dominance that they've had. So it's going to be interesting. At the end of the day, you're looking at both teams. We sorry, Crimson Tide fans, to bring back PTSD, but I ain't gonna say too much because karma might get us this weekend. But we ruined their chances last year to make the playoffs. So, they could easily do that to us this year, and they have a chance to. I'm not gonna sit there and say they don't. So overall, end of the day, if Alabama can run the ball and can balance out their offensive schemes, this could be a tough one to beat. If Oklahoma can force Ty Simpson to be one dimensional and Alabama be one dimensional, and if they can, you know, limit the big time plays, I think Oklahoma has a chance. But at the end of the day, fellas, that John Mateer is going to be the deal. That's going to be the deciding factor on this one. If he can beat John Mateer versus Michigan, and that defense can stay legit, I think Oklahoma can have a chance to win in Tuscaloosa. First time since 2003 that we were down, or 2002 that we were down there. So um, it's gonna be a doozy. I know the spread keeps dropping, so Vegas is seeing something from Oklahoma side of keeping this thing close. Started out at 8.5, I think now it's 5.5 is the last time I checked. So Oklahoma's gonna ride high with that defense. The defense got to play, and I feel good about this game, but tough to win in Alabama. So would it surprise me Oklahoma doesn't come out with the win? No, but we're having a heck of a year, and I'm gonna pull off. I'm gonna be a little biased, of course, but I feel good. I think it's gonna be close, but I think Oklahoma's gonna pull out with this thing. I think. I really believe there's gonna be a running back. I'm sure it's gonna be Jaden Ott, who hasn't really been that guy that they were hoping for coming out of the portal. But I think John Mateer is gonna light him up today or this weekend. So we're gonna see. It's gonna be a doozy, but it's gonna be a fun one to watch, nonetheless.
Yeah, really, really looking at John Mateer to really just come back and coming off the bye is huge. Oklahoma having the bye, uh, I think that's really going to help them with game planning, injury, things like that. So, um, yeah, definitely looking forward to that game for sure. Alabama's a 4 seed. They're more than likely still going to be in playoff contention, even if they lose. They only have one loss, and this would be their first loss in SEC play. Oklahoma 7-2. But if John Mateer can come back to form, I think that's going to be key. And obviously, you want to stop this Alabama offense for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been interesting to see um, both teams, Alabama and Oklahoma, as far as their trajectory this season. I mean, I think it's been um, mostly pretty consistent. I mean, Alabama winning 8 straight um, is definitely huge. So I mean, they should be riding high momentum wise. And this is also a revenge game because we mentioned
Hmm.
what happened um, last year, last season. So Alabama, I'm sure will have that on their mind some way or another. But yeah, just looking at Oklahoma, I think the game's going to be won on the ground. I think if Mateer and those two backs, I mean, that's a triple punch basically.
Hmm.
If those guys can get going on the ground, but I mean, we know Alabama, they're always stingy up front. So, we'll see how that goes. But with it also being away, Alabama being at home, I think Oklahoma has to get a lead first.
Yep.
And if they can do that, I think they'll be set up for success. But I don't know why, I feel like something's telling me Alabama's going to win this one. I think they're going to be too focused on a revenge game from last year.
Hmm.
They're riding high on momentum, 8 straight at home. 3:30 game. I think Alabama would take this one.
Well, I don't. I'm rooting for Oklahoma. Obviously, I'm not a
Same here.
I'm not an Alabama fan, even though I do like Kalen DeBoer. I like him as a coach. I
Sure.
kind of wish he would have stayed in Washington so I can
Hmm.
root for him. Because I can't root for him now, but I like him. But I'm rooting for Oklahoma for sure. And I love Brent Venables. I'm a Brent Venables guy. And you know what? I just feel like he knows how to beat Alabama. He's beat them twice in the national championship game, and
Yeah.
he even though this is a completely different regime, he just might have Alabama's number, and we'll see what happens Saturday. But he's like I said last year, he's a big game coach, and this is a big game for sure, and he's gonna fire his guys up. Um, so and also, this is a new thing that I just thought about when studying for this game and our podcast tonight. Um, Last week, Brent Venables went to Clemson
Yep.
for Florida State.
Hmm.
This week, Clemson plays Friday night. Let's see if Dabo goes to Alabama to root
Oh.
on the Oklahoma
Oh.
Sooners. I think that'll be a pretty cool thing if we see Dabo being an Alabama alum going down to Tuscaloosa to root
Mm,
against the Crimson Tide. I think he should go. He definitely should. He should repay that favor
absolutely.
because Clemson they looked really good against Florida State defensively, and I think having Brent there back in the
Hmm.
building, just kind of spurring those guys on. I think if Dabo can do that, I think that'll be really good for them. So I'm hoping to see Dabo in Tuscaloosa Saturday afternoon after the game against Louisville Friday night. So we'll see what happens. I just thought that was an interesting development that could possibly happen.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. We're not gonna win that Louisville game, so he needs to go take his mind off of something and go watch.
I was about to say the same thing. I think Jeremiah's on something. He might be, that might be his day one of his long, long tenure being gone. So
Right.
you never know.
Right. Absolutely. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a fun game for sure. I'll definitely be tuning into that
Hmm.
Saturday afternoon, 2:30 East, 2:30 Central Time, 3:30 Eastern Time. So tune into that game. Let us know down in the comment section what you guys think about that game. Who do you have winning, Alabama or Oklahoma? It's going to be a great, great, fantastic game. So before we get into the crux of the meat of our episode here, I just want to let you all know that we are on the road to 100 subscribers here on the Talking Sports Podcast. We definitely appreciate you guys for subscribing, liking videos, things of that nature. So hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. We love the interaction. So comment, hit us up on Twitter at TSPJDN. I'm also posting content on my Instagram for the channel as well. So Instagram is Noblemage, Noblemagh on Instagram. Mike, before we continue, want to shout out your podcast and your channel as well.
Absolutely. Like I said, guys, it's been a while. Great content coming out. Later on in early December, but or even later this week, actually. LSU preview. I'll get that out there. But anyway, YouTube Air Raid Attack Podcast, Twitter Air Raid Podcast, and then my personal one Air Raid Pod Host. Follow me. I'll follow back. Let's talk sports. Let's talk whatever. We'll keep it professional though, please. But other than that, that's the channels and new content, new shows every Wednesday, and dropping new episodes every Thursday. So and hit those notifications wherever you get podcasts from, and that's the best way to stay up to date with the Air Raid Attack podcast. It's been a while since haven't been on the podcast when you don't even know your own name.
I know, I get it. We
Trust
still
me.
don't
Oh.
we still don't really have a working intro, so it's like I gotta figure that out at some point. But yeah, no, definitely y'all hit up Mike and his podcast. Definitely great content over there
Mhm.
on YouTube and on Twitter. All right, so getting into the NFL, this is what week 11, week 10, week 10. Um,
Yes.
week
11,
10.
11.
Yes, 11. Hmm.
Okay, week 11
Yep.
in the NFL. A lot of great games. And I want to discuss four of these games. Um, Starting out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Buffalo Bills Sunday afternoon. Bills and Bucks both coming off tough losses. This game is in Buffalo. We know Buffalo won their Super Bowl 2 weeks ago against my Chiefs, and then laid an egg against Miami. But another tough game going against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who lost to New England. So this game is going to be very interesting and a very important game for both teams. Who do you all see coming on top on this one?
Boy.
It's
I'll
it's
I'll
tough.
I'll start. I've got the Bucks coming out, and the main reason why is I just think Bills have more injuries. I mean,
Hmm.
Josh Allen. Let's just be honest. If Shakir and Kincaid don't play, because they're both questionable, trending towards doubtful, um, the game's already over. The game's over because I mean, Josh can only do so much by himself with his legs, throwing to God knows whoever else is at wide receiver. Um, but no, honestly, I think the injuries they have, the inconsistent that the Bills have been throughout this season. Um, it is a home game that may help them, but I just even with the Bucks, being uh, having the injuries that they do have, I feel like still if Baker can get going,
Hmm.
um, that second half, I think the Bucks will be able to take over. So I've got the Bucks winning this one. I'm gonna say 27-20.
Yeah,
Yeah. Fun fact is that I just looked it up just to kind of curiosity, kind of get um, some quick kind of game notes, so to speak. I never realized the Bucks never beat Buffalo. I thought that was interesting. Um,
That's interesting. Wow.
yeah, I never would have guessed that one at all. So that obviously is going to play a role. But no, obviously Buffalo's banged up. Bake, I understand he's got some surrounding guys that's out and everything else. If you get Bake to Bake, he's gonna have a heyday. And against the Bills, you're looking at Josh Allen. I always say Kansas City was his kryptonite. I'm starting to wonder if he's not his own kryptonite, and he's just kind of going with the flow. I know they're excited about the new stadium next year, but I'm gonna go. Man, it's tough against Josh Allen, but still, I'm gonna go with Jeremiah. I think Bake's gonna bake. Obviously, they gave up. Tampa Bay gave up some big time plays
yeah, they did.
against the Patriots. What ended up being the biggest killer and why they lost that game.
Yep.
But I think they're gonna get that fixed, and I think they're gonna take care of business. It'll be a close one. I could see something along the lines of 21-17, 24-21, something to that degree.
Yeah,
I think Buffalo's still a Super Bowl contender. I'm not taking nothing away from them, but nonetheless, I think Bake's going to come out. There'll be a little homer on that one, I guess, for all the listeners out there. But I like Josh Allen. I got nothing against Buffalo, but I think Buffalo. I think Buffalo. I think Tampa Bay's going to come out, take this one, and try to get back on that winning track again for them.
yeah. I think this is going to be a game where Tampa Bay kind of gets their run game back going.
Hmm.
We've known them, especially with Baker, to be a team that can do both, run the ball and pass with the the wide receiver injuries, they haven't really been able to run the ball as well. And I think just knowing that the Bills defense struggles against the run, this is an opportunity for those backs in Tampa Bay to really get going and take a little bit of pressure off of Baker, which is much needed, especially now. Um, Got to be able to do both. And against we know what happened last week. Miami ran
Hmm.
all over them. So I'm sorry. I'm also taking Tampa Bay to win, even though Buffalo's at home and they really need this game because again they're a wild card. Uh, there's no telling when the Patriots are going to lose again. They may not lose again
Exactly.
with their
Yeah.
schedule. They're getting ready to play Tampa Bay as sorry, I'm getting ready to play the Jets as we're recording this episode. So yeah, they're looking up to the Patriots right now. So they need the win, but I don't see it happening. I think the slide continues, and I see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this game.
Real quick, do we know what the weather's going to be like this weekend in Buffalo?
I don't. I should have looked at that.
Let me see real quick. I don't either. Um,
And they were Tampa Bay was just in New England last week, and now they're
mhm.
in Buffalo again this week. So um, they're they may be used to some colder temps, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I know there was a cold front here where we are,
Yep.
just kind of
Same
swept
here.
through the country, but I may have subsided by the weekend, got a little bit warmer, but I don't know.
Says 30s and 40s for this weekend. So no
Okay,
snow, so that should be a good one for
yeah.
the Bucks to try to get that win then.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the Bills can reestablish their run game. James Cook obviously being one of the top backs in the country in the league. He was really stymied last week against Miami. Um, Tampa Bay's pretty good up front with Vita Vea, and
Very good.
so if the Bills can't get the run game going, I see Josh Allen throwing a pick, at least one because he tends to do that. But if he's putting on the Superman cape and keeping everything uh, locked in, it'll be a good game. It'll be a good game for sure. But I think we got Tampa Bay winning this one. So next game that I want to focus on is, and this is well second best game of the weekend in my opinion, Seahawks versus Rams.
Oh,
This is going to be an incredible, incredible game. I'm going to be flipping back and forth between this one and the Chiefs um, all Sunday evening. But both of these teams, 7-2, NFC West, looking for first place in that division. These teams are playing some incredible football, offensively and defensively. Matthew Stafford, MVP conversation. Uh, if the Seahawks can win this game, then you can obviously put Sam Darnold in those MVP
hmm.
conversations as well. Both defenses are playing well. Both have good run games. I don't know where to draw the line between these two teams, honestly.
Would you draw the line to say that if the Seahawks defensive line can't get to Stafford, that might be the deal breaker? Give you enough time for Stafford to get the ball open to his or get the ball to his receivers? Could the Seahawks D line be the main factor in this one?
Yeah, yeah, it really could. Demarcus Lawrence with those
Hmm.
two touchdowns he had last week. He's been playing very well. Kind of resurging him as a top defensive tackle and defensive end in the league. Um, Two different styles, really, with Mike McDonald being a defensive coach and Sean McVay being an offensive coach. So we'll see which one of those can really win out. It's going to be interesting to see if Devontae Adams is playing. I know he's questionable with oblique injury. He's going to be a big factor because if they can just hone in on Puka Nakua and not have to worry about Devontae on the other side, that's gonna help Seattle out for sure. But the Rams also have to deal with JSN, so
Hmm.
it's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be. I think honestly, I hope it's gonna be a high scoring game. I love offenses, but honestly, both of these defenses are pretty good too. So I don't know. We'll see.
This is a very important fantasy game for me. So I going against Seahawks players, and I have three Rams players. So we'll see how it goes. I'll tell you this: JSN has been top three wide receivers in the league this year, and I
Yeah.
think the recent 3-4 game stretch he's been on has been the best in the NFL. Um, Maybe besides Drake London for Atlanta, but um, the Seahawks, yeah, unfortunately, this is definitely an MVP game for
Hmm.
Darnold and Stafford. Stafford has way better stats, but I mean, obviously, they factor in your record for your team.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like we've picked we've picked the away teams. I think I'm gonna go with the home team on this one. Um, I still think Seattle could probably put up 35. I will say, wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised. Um, but I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think I would trust Kyron Williams and Puka and Stafford to carry this one home. Um, their defense is gonna have their hands full all night. So um, if JSN breaks a couple, if he's anywhere near 8, 9, 10 receptions, over 100 yards, just looking at the stats without looking at the score, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. But I'm gonna take the home team. I think coming off a good defensive week last week for the Rams, as well as Puka and Stafford just being great, along with Kyron Williams, who's been pretty consistent this year. I think I'll take the Rams this one. I'm gonna go shootout. I'm gonna go 33-30 Rams.
Okay.
I'm going to take the home one. I'm going to go bet that Devontae comes out and plays. I know that the connection with Stafford and Devontae has done phenomenally well for the most part. So, especially
Yeah.
the last 4 games, but that they played. So, I don't know. I think the Rams going to take this one. I do think the D line for Seattle does get to Stafford at times. Stafford is a stat wise, of course. Again, they go off of record, I believe, as well. They add that in to into the factor of the NFL MVP. Um, no, I think the Rams. I like an offensive showing. Let's go. Let's go 38-34.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely see this being a high scoring game, up tempo. Um, let's see. I'm curious to see if Seattle tries to run the ball a little more to kind of
Mm-hmm.
keep the Rams offense off the field. It's going to be, you know, interesting to see the game plans going into these games from these coaches. Honestly, both of these coaches are up for Coach of the Year candidacy as well.
Yeah.
Just leading their teams. But this division is tight. They need these games because San Francisco, they have an easy schedule. They're on their heels as well. We're kind of counting out Arizona at this point, but uh, NFC West is a very good division, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously both of these teams are more than likely going to be in the playoffs. So, um, interesting game for seeding and for playoff standings and morale. MVP is a lot riding on this game, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be must see. Gonna be interesting to see what happens. I don't really have a dog in the fight. I will go Seattle winning this one close, 38-35, with a kick to win it at the end. We know the Rams Stadium, and that stadium in general in LA is it always seems like the away team has the better crowd. So uh, expect Seattle fans to show up and be loud for the team.
Oh yes.
So 12th man in the building. I'll go Seattle 38-35. It's going to be a great game though. Next game,
Real
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's sort of a revenge typ game for Cooper Cup. He obviously
Hmm.
wasn't happy about how
Forgot
things
about that, Jeremiah. That's an excellent
were
point.
Rams. Kind of want to change my pick now. I'll
I'll
leave it.
stick.
I'll leave it.
Yeah.
I'll leave it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Cooper Cup kind of has a night.
I forgot about that. That's an excellent point. Yeah, he is playing for Seattle right now, and all the attention is going on JSN right now. So Cooper Cup is still dangerous. He's still good.
Right.
Um, Interesting. Yeah, very good.
Mike, you switching? You staying?
I'm gonna stay, but I'm not gonna lie. Jeremiah brought up a great point.
Yeah, yeah, definitely great point. Next game, Sunday Night Football, Lions versus Eagles. We're in Philadelphia for this one. Eagles are 7-2, coming off a lackluster showing against the last game against Green Bay. 0-0 at halftime. I
Hmm.
turned the game off. I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. It was just bad to watch. Defensively, I guess these teams are both okay. I don't really know, to be honest. Um, but they're going against the Lions again. Great offense for the Lions. So Lions are 6-3. They need to continue winning for that division. NFC South. No, sorry, NFC North. Um, I'm rooting for the Lions. Obviously, don't like the Eagles at all. Hopefully, the Lions can pull it off. Uh, the Lions need a win against a good team,
Hmm.
and the Eagles, they need to show some type of offensive consistency, some type of offense in general with everything going on over there. What are you guys' thoughts?
Well, I know you got, on the defensive side, especially on that defensive line, Eagles got a lot of speed on that line. And I'm curious to see, in my opinion, you got the Lions, probably one of the best, if not the best, duo and running backs that they got in the backfield.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see how they, first of all, how the Eagles attack that, and then also, excuse me, how they can kind of defend Gibbs because worth noting that Gibbs is also a dangerous receiver out of the backfield, and
Yeah.
so I also know that the Eagles got Dallas and AJ and Devontae, but the Lions need a win. They just need a win that just solidifies like, hey, we not, we can play with the big dogs, and the Eagles, you got there. So, defending Super Bowl champs and so on and so forth. Now, if the Lions can run the ball and run the ball effectively, I think they got a chance to beat Philly. Um, but it's the Lions. They just they find ways not to ever beat these
yeah,
big time. Eagles secondary is not too bad, but the Lions also have weapons. I think the running game for the Lions is going to be the deal breaker on this one. I'm going to root for the Lions just because I would like to see them beat somebody decent and somebody that's top dog in that conference play. I don't think it's going to be a high score like I think it's going to be Rams Seahawks.
yeah,
Um, I'm gonna go. Man, that O line on the Lions is. Let's go. I'm gonna go with the upset. Let's go 24-21 Lions. I really would like to. I understand the man. That's tough though, because the Eagles, their whole secondary is banged up though. Man, I'm gonna go stick with the Lions just because I want to see an upset. Let's go 24-21.
Yeah, that's it's a good pick. I've got the Lions taking this one, and the Eagles are, I think, one of the most frustrating teams,
Hmm.
not
They
only
are.
to watch, but just to hear about in general. Because every week, I mean, somebody's complaining. It's AJ Brown, it's Jay. I mean, not Jalen, but it's AJ Brown. It's Saquon saying something. Devontae Smith said it's just every other week it's something. Um, and they're 7-2, joint best record in the NFC, and I just don't know why. Like I don't get it. The
Yeah.
defense, like you said, is banged up. The
Hmm.
offense, Jalen's not throwing the ball more than 25 yards. Um, so it's like it's really just a stale team that doesn't really make mistakes. Um,
Yeah.
so maybe that's what they have going for them. Typically, they win the turnover battle. So sure. But I think this will be the game that the Lions will be able to finally get going.
Yep.
Sunday night, you have Gibbs who you can rely on, and Montgomery, like you said, the two best, 1-2 running back punch in the league. Um, I think Goff is going to have a great game Sunday night. I really do. I think this will be um, his game. He's not. I don't think he has a great primetime record, but I think if there is a game he can kind of show out. I think it'll be this one. Um, I got a low scoring game. I'm gonna go Lions. I'm gonna go Lions 20. Lions 21. Eagles 17.
Okay. That's good. Good picks. For sure. I'm definitely rooting for the Lions. I just don't know if they can overcome and beat the good team. Eagles being at home Sunday night.
Yep.
It's going to be up to the defense though, of Detroit. If the defense of Detroit can step up, um, try to guard AJ Brown. I don't know what's going to happen with AJ Brown. Any moment he could have a game, 11 catches,
Hmm.
150 yards, 2 touchdowns, or he could have one catch for 8 yards and three targets. So I mean, you just never know what you're going to get, and I think that's the mystique that the Eagles want. They want to throw you off with their game plan because it could be Saquon, it could be Devontae, it could be AJ, or it could be nobody. It could be Jalen running for 2 touchdowns. The only thing that I know is that I'm ready for the tush push to be done for
Yep.
because the one thing that I remember from the game last week against the Packers was that horrible, terrible, ridiculous false start that gave the Eagles that first down when they false started. Like so many people, like three offensive linemen moved before the ball was snapped, and the refs didn't even call it. And it happens week in, week out. And then 2 weeks ago, the Jalen fumbled on one of the tush push attempts, and the refs didn't call it again. So I'm ready for the tush push to be done. It's definitely going to be voted out this coming off season. So I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Unfortunately, I did watch majority of the Packers Eagles game. I shouldn't have. I could have spent my time better. But that game, you see Philly's D line really just wreak havoc on Jordan Love.
Hmm.
And I think Love probably had his worst game of the season, if not maybe second worst game of the season. Only throwing for 176 yards, no picks, no touchdowns. But I think if Goff can get the ball out of his hands quickly, whether it's handing it off or just 3-step drop release, I think it'll be fine. I don't think you have to do very much on defense to stop the Eagles. I really don't. I mean, the Packers, obviously the Packers have Micah and they have some guys on defense that are quality talent, but they didn't do much. I mean, you were able to limit Saquon. He had 60 yards, but he had 22 carries. So it's just like they were just feeding him the ball. Um, Devontae Smith broke open for a touchdown, but that was it.
Hmm.
So it's
Yep.
just I don't think you have to do very much. The Lions have a few injuries, but for the most part, they have their guys on defense. Um, so yeah, I just think it's set up. I think it's set up for the Lions to win this game, but we'll see. It could be a Sunday night choke for the Lions. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. And while we're kind of on the subject, you brought it up, Jeremiah. The Packers defense, and I wasn't planning on talking about the Packers at all. They're going against the Giants this weekend, and
Yeah.
Jameis, watch out for Jameis.
Hmm.
Right.
He might come out and pull out some magic. But what about this Packers defense? This team is just confusing. The Packers, they come out and they tie 40-40 against the Cowboys, and then this game they don't even score really. Defense is good, offense is mediocre. I don't know what to think of the Packers, and I know it's a team that used to be your favorite team. You kind of follow now. LaFleur is kind of in hot seat firing conversations, talks right now around the league. What about this team? Because they're what, third in the division right now?
Hmm. Yep. Yeah. I think the unfortunate thing for the Packers is that um, your season may be over now that Tucker Kraft is gone,
Oh,
Mm,
absolutely.
and that's
yeah.
it's tough to sit with and to think about because I mean, Watson's back and Josh Jacobs is been playing pretty consistent and well this season, but just looking at the consistency of the wide receivers without Tucker Kraft, there's not much. There's not much you have. I mean, Romeo Dobbs has been in and out. Watson, of course, has been in and out. Wicks hasn't been someone you can really count on, despite his size and talent, which I mean seems to be evident. But um,
Matthew Golden has
yeah,
been.
he's been again in and out. I mean, just they haven't been able to play a lot together, and when they haven't done much. So I think Tucker Kraft really really hurts Love and his production. But looking at the defense, they have a pretty solid scheme in terms of stopping the run. And I really like how they use Micah on third down, just kind of floating them around, letting them sit in the middle, and then just kind of run in um, on third down. But um, they're a balanced team. They're a balanced
Mhm.
team. I just think now they're going to be way more mediocre without Tucker, which may mean either wild card exit or not making the playoffs.
Mm, that's tough. He was their best guy, and he was having an incredible game when he got injured. So that was a tough loss for them. It's always tough when your tight end is your best pass catcher,
Yeah.
because typically the tight end is supposed to be your safety valve, the guy you go to when wide receiver is double covered or if they're in zone or things like that. But and I was thinking about like what was Tom Brady when Gronk was out, and I don't really I did I should have looked that up, but
Wasn't much.
yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, that definitely losing Tucker was tough, fantasy wise, and
Mhm.
for the team.
Yeah.
But I was still hoping to see a little bit more from Micah that game. And it was talked about that he didn't really do a whole lot. He might have impacted in other ways, but he was supposed to be their guy that's leading them on to this major success. And I can't really say that the Cowboys are winning the trade right now with their record, but when we look at pressures, sacks, things of that nature, it's still kind of the same. So interesting, interesting there.
Yeah.
Well, I think the overall thing with the Packers, I think, has just been their team's just been up and down. You don't really know what you're going to get out of. I noticed the very few games I watch at Green Bay. Not me down here in Oklahoma City, unless it's national televised. But the defensive side, I've noticed that they don't force the ball. They don't get the lack of takeaways, I guess put it that way. The inconsistency when it comes to the pass rush. They'll send the extra rushers, and of course that doesn't really help out too much. But the biggest thing is that offensively, they just don't. Their inability to sustain long drives and keeping that defensive out. Eventually, going to run tired. I mean, that's anybody's. Doesn't matter how good or bad your defense is. You can only do so much. But I mean, so I don't want to take all the credit, all the issues toward the defense, even though they got quite a bit. But Packers, I think during the next offseason, like Jeremiah said, it's going to be the early exiting, or they're just going to flat out miss it. And either way, I think they're going to have to rehaul um, Lambeau and Green Bay and get some new faces, or maybe this might be a time when they go in a different direction and remove LaFleur, Coach Matt from head coaching, and try to find somebody else to bring in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the final six or so games for the Packers to see what they do if they can get back in the hunt in this division. Because the Bears, they're looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions are 6-3, but definitely should be a winnable game against the Giants, who are just struggling with injury, don't really have a lot of talent. But again, you never know which Packers team you're going to get. So
Nope.
definitely looking forward to that game as well. But I think this is the moment of truth. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for this particular
Yeah.
podcast, this particular episode. You all see my hoodie, and
Hmm.
you all see Mike's hoodie. The Denver
Here we
Broncos
go.
are going against the Kansas City Chiefs in a very, very important game in this division. Um, a very important game for these two teams. Broncos are 8-2, 5-0
Mm-hmm.
at home. Chiefs are 5-4 with a 1-3 record away. Let's start with you, Jeremiah, since you're kind of bipartisan, you're kind of in the middle.
Thank you.
Uh, start with you. What are your thoughts of this game going into it, and yeah, just lay it on out for us.
Sure. Thank you for letting me go first. I was very to talk about this game in particular. So yeah, like you mentioned, a lot's riding on this game. Um, People are saying must win game for the Chiefs. Sitting at 5-4 right now. Going to Denver for this game, 4:25 Eastern time on CBS. I think this is going to be a good one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Broncos sitting at 8-2, who have really won a lot of close games.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to wonder, can the Chiefs offensive line protect Mahomes long enough to where he can get going? And
Yeah.
that's to me, that's really the question. I'm not concerned about who's playing or who's not for the Chiefs. Whoever's out there is going to be good enough for Mahomes,
Mm-hmm.
but does he have time? Because if not, the Chiefs will lose. So we saw that um, in previous games, especially against the Bills, which the Chiefs lost 28-21, like we mentioned uh, about a week ago, and that game, the score was only a touchdown. That game wasn't close, and I think if you watch that game, you could kind of see the issues there. But the Denver Broncos, Mike, if you know, how many have y'all won straight?
We have won 7 straight.
7 straight. I thought so.
Yep.
And maybe you can say they played Dallas, they played Houston, they played the Raiders, they play the Giants, they play the Jets, and that's fair. That is
Mm-hmm.
fair. But you have to play against who's on your schedule, and they've beaten majority of them so far. So I do think this will be the Broncos' biggest test, but this is the most important game for the Chiefs so far. And so, um, as far as picking, I'm going to go Denver. Um, and the main reason I'm
Fair.
two main reasons why I'm going Denver. Number one, I pick against the Chiefs all the time in the regular season, all the time. But when postseason comes,
Hmm.
you can have. But the way this is shaping out to be, Denver's at home. They have all the momentum. Um, I think the pressure is on Kansas City, and so regular season game questions about the O line for the Chiefs. I'm gonna go Denver. Um, I don't think it's gonna be very high scoring, but I think they're gonna put some points on the board. I'm gonna go Denver. I'm gonna go Denver by a field goal, 23-20.
Mike, Mike, go.
I think this might be the biggest, probably the biggest game since Super Bowl 50 in quite some time for Denver.
Yeah.
This team 4 points combined away from being 10-0, losing close one to the Chargers and the Colts both.
Mhm.
So I mean, but again, this 8-2, you can go and say if you split 9-1, 10-0, it doesn't matter. Is this team legitimately, 8-2? Hey, the biggest thing that's killed us in years past, even last year, was losing the close games. It was always a close games. We can never pull out the close games, and
Mhm.
and and so on and so forth. This year, so happened that here we come. We're fourth quarter action, and we're somehow finding ways to win. Which at the end of the day, that's what matters right there. But no, I mean, you look at Kansas City, a team that's won 9 straight division championships. Denver, it was the last team to win it that wasn't named Kansas City.
Right.
Um, and so you're looking at a team even last week against, last week against the Vegas Raiders, that for some reason I was about to say Jacksonville, I don't know why, but Las Vegas. And offensively, they just looked bad. They really looked, it was not pretty. I know the wind played a lot of factor, but the offensive line wasn't at all good. Running game non-existent. Bo was just way off in left field, but might have been one of those games that like I saw down here in Norman with OU and Illinois State. You trying to play conservative enough to get the win, so the other team that you might have a good challenge with doesn't see everything, and that could have been too. I don't know, but anyway, nonetheless. Kansas City ranks seventh in total offense. You got Denver, who ranks 13th in total offense. You got two of the top six best teams in defensively coming, playing in Denver, sixth in Kansas City, and third in Denver. So I mean, Denver's defense is top notch.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
are.
kept them in against Las Vegas, especially in that second half. Even though that was borderline snooze fest, but I survived all 4 quarters. Uh, but uh,
Right.
but remind me of the Colts and the Broncos a few years back in Thursday Night Football. But anyway, so nonetheless, it's going to be interesting. And I think Jeremiah nailed it. Is can the Chiefs' offensive line hold up against this really, really good defensive line and defensive side, just period in Denver,
Yep.
enough to where he can get the ball out? I'm unsure if Marvin Mims is playing. I don't know, but I do know that our offense hasn't been the same without him. Um, Out of that Joker role, so Cortland and has been kind of that double team position. Hopefully, Mims comes back and we can get him back up and going. The key thing for Denver is to hold. If we can get up and start fast, just flat out start fast offensively, even defensively. Get up 2 scores before Kansas City because Kansas City is a team you just do not want to hang around with and battle 4 quarters out because Patrick Mahomes that's why he's a Super Bowl champ previously, and so that's why he's a winner. And Nonetheless, if they can start fast, get some scores up quick on Kansas City without them scoring first, get some confidence building. What I'm afraid of is if Bo struggles early and Kansas City hangs around, this could be one that Denver might have some issues with. Of course, I'm gonna be flat out be biased on this one. I do think we'll win. Hopefully, we do. I'm tired of losing to Kansas City, and I kind of want that AFC West back in Denver. But the future looks bright for Denver. They do have the quarterback of the franchise of the future, no doubt in that. Sean Payton's done phenomenal. Vance Joseph is redeeming himself back in Denver, even though
Absolutely.
in a
Yeah.
different position. Denver's got to maintain the run game. I like R.J. Harvey a lot. I wish they gave J.K. Dobbins more touches last week. I thought that was a little disappointing. If he can run like he did against Dallas, if Marvin Mims comes back, if the defense can really put pressure on Mahomes, I think Denver wins and probably won't be even be close. It won't be a blowout, but nonetheless, Denver wins. It won't be a high score. I think Denver still struggles offensively. I think Kansas City struggles just because of the defensive side of Denver. I'm gonna go 2017. Denver likes these close games. I kind of wish they don't have these close games. Enough of this,
Yeah.
and let's get a double-digit win here, and enough to where we don't have to wait till the final 3 minutes to put the nail in the coffin. But nonetheless, I'm gonna go 24. I'm gonna go 24-21 as my final one. Denver takes the nod. I think 24 is a little too much, but I'll give a INT to the house for Denver's defensive side.
Ooh, INT to the house. One question for you, Mike, is
Hmm.
Patrick Surtain playing this game?
He's still out.
Still out.
He should be back for
Um,
Washington
well,
in 2 weeks.
you won't need him for Washington,
No,
but
no. We should have anyway.
no,
He's questionable. He's not completely out yet. I mean, you may know more, but he's listed as questionable.
yeah,
Hey, that's better than previously.
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, if he plays, I'll take that.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think that's honestly going to be the key to the game because um, you're the other corner, Moss. Um,
Hmm.
that's not Miller Moss, is it? Is that his name?
Riley Moss.
Riley Moss.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I think the Chiefs are going to pick on him a lot. I think they're going to put him in some precarious situations.
Mhm.
Xavier Worthy is questionable with ankle. He didn't practice today. But like you all said, the key to the game is going to be the offensive line of Kansas City against Nick Bonito and those
Hmm.
guys. They're just really good. They're record in sacks, potentially. They're on pace to break the record for sacks. They're just really good. But I trust Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes after a bye. I think this is going to be um, if Surtain doesn't play, I think it's going to be a difficult game. Mahomes is going to get the ball out early. I'm not gonna. I'm not thinking it's going to be a lot of sacks. Uh, kind of looking at the game plan a lot of what Kansas City was last year. A lot of short stuff, a lot of um, slants, and I think Kansas City's defense and Spagnuolo is going to be up to the challenge against Bo Nix. And is is J.K. Dobbins out? Is he hurt?
He's questionable as well.
He's
Yeah.
questionable. I know that for sure.
Questionable as
Yeah.
well.
But
Okay.
yeah, that's why he didn't play that much. This foot injury last week. He's still dealing with.
Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I don't see that pick six that you're talking about. I mean, it's obviously possible. I just think they're going to be locked in after this bye. This is a game that Kansas City needs. We haven't won any close games, unlike last year where all of our games we won
Hmm.
close. And obviously, when you win close games one season, the next season it's not going to be like that. It's going to be a complete flip, and it has been that. Um, I just don't see you mentioned it, Mike. If you can do what you did against Dallas, that's
Yeah.
not going to happen because
No, no.
the Dallas defense is terrible, and we've seen it. Everybody does amazing against my Cowboys defense, and a week later they look like they forgot how to play
Hmm.
football, and that's just how bad the Cowboys defense is. So you know, whoever wins turnover battle, Chiefs can't run the ball. So I mean, um, injuries for Denver in key spots. I think if we get Simmons back on that O line for our left tackle, it's going to help us out. I think the game is going to be 24-10 Chiefs. We score a touchdown late to just end it. I don't see any fourth quarter heroics from Bo Nix. I'm not saying he's going to have a bad game, but I just think the offensive struggles continue for for Denver, and we see a locked in defensive Chiefs team, and I think that's the key. I want my Chiefs defense to lock in, get some pressure, um, get off the field on third down. It's just been so annoying that they haven't been able to do that. Um, I do see Trent McDuffie getting a pick though. That's my pick. 24-10 Chiefs.
Let me ask you guys this.
Yep.
The ESPN analytics have the Chiefs to win this game 60%
Mm-hmm.
and to
3.5 point
Denver
favorite.
39. Right. Now, the interesting thing about that is Denver's 5-0 at home.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs are 1-3, like you mentioned, coming off the bye. Um, why are the Chiefs the favorite at Mile High? I mean, is it just what the experience that they have? Just they don't trust Bo Nix? I mean, what's the story there?
I would imagine, at least on my take, we've struggled to beat Kansas City since our Super Bowl 50 run. Um, I don't know how many times we beat Kansas City since. I'm sure it hasn't been many. Um, I'm sure the experience of that from the fact that Denver struggles against Kansas City, I'm sure is playing a factor. Um, I know offensively is a big concern.
Yeah,
Hopefully PS2 comes back. If not, that could be a definitely eye to watch in that secondary. Riley Moss gets picked on, and unfortunately, Vegas could have, if the wind wasn't playing a factor, those receivers, even though some of the receivers had the ball, they just dropped it. He was getting picked on a lot last week against Vegas, and they
yeah,
exploited him real easy. I think just the experience that Patty Mahomes has against Denver, the success that they've had against Denver, and I think the red flag still offensively for Denver, I think is probably why that would be so high. Would be my take. I'm unsure why. I know we're the underdog, and rightfully so. But that's an interesting take, though. That's for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes coming off.
Hmm.
They have a immaculate record coming off a bye, and you know, Patrick Mahomes in November as well. That record is they lock in. These November, December is what makes a difference in these teams. If you can win in November and December and January, that's when it matters the most. And so I think that's the reason why. Just to update, the Jets are up 7-0 on the Patriots right now as we're recording this with New England driving. So just to update on that game while we're recording. But yeah, I just think it's those two factors really. And I think they understand that it's it's needed, and I think
Hmm.
the Chiefs
Yeah.
will lock in for that.
Did you give your score, JD?
24, yeah, 24-10, 24,
10.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, 24-10. It's gonna be low scoring. It's gonna be a defensive battle. But again, I think the Chiefs will score a touchdown in the fourth quarter late to kind of just put it away. Um, Not too good of a game on either side, but I think the Chiefs pull away in the end.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see.
We'll see.
It should be a good one. Keyword should be. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah, definitely will. So yeah, let us know down in the comment section what you think about these games coming up. Are there any other games you guys want to get into before we get out of here tonight?
I don't have a game, but I do will say, is Jerry Jones ever going to give up control of Dallas?
No,
When he passes away.
no, he's not.
And even then, he still might haunt him from the grave.
No, he's not. I don't see it. And even if that happens, Stephen Jones is gonna take over. I don't know if he's gonna take over as owner and GM like Jerry has. Um, but it's definitely a family business, and it's
Hmm.
more than likely gonna stay in the family. We'll see what decisions Stephen Jones makes. Once Jerry continues to get up in age. Um, I was hoping not to talk about the Cowboys this episode, but yeah, but
I
yeah. So
yeah, I got a question.
yeah.
So just not a game, but looking to the future. Do you guys have your Super Bowl picks ready? I mean, I think we've coming into week 11, week 12 here. I've got mine, but I want to know if y'all have yours.
This league has been so up and down.
It
I
has absolutely
I,
been.
I have no idea. Who are yours? What are yours, Jeremiah?
So, and this is based on right now. This is based on right now
Okay.
because um, again, based on right now, I'm not gonna pick the Chiefs just because of how
Hmm.
they look. But if there was a gun to my head, I'm picking the Chiefs. But we're not there.
Right. Right.
Um, but no, I think coming out of the AFC, I'm gonna go with the Colts to get to the Super Bowl. Just
Oh.
because just because it's so good. If Jonathan Taylor keeps going the way he is, it would just be a fun story
It would,
to
yeah.
have the Colts get to the Super Bowl. Um, if I'm being honest, I don't think they have the experience all around to get there in the postseason, and that makes me want to go with the Chiefs. But coming out of NFC, which has been something, but again, based on right now, I'm going with the Seahawks. I mean, they just
Hmm.
have both sides of the ball have just been incredible. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, a Seahawks Colts Super Bowl would be pretty unremarkable, probably. But based off right now, those are the teams I'm picking. Now, based on experience and what we've seen in seasons past, I think it's safe to say Chiefs Lions or Chiefs Eagles. But um, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a pick, Mike, for Super Bowl? I honestly I don't. I can obviously go with Chiefs and you say Chiefs Eagles or um, Chiefs Rams. I would enjoy Chiefs Rams, to be honest. That would be a great game, I think. But I don't really have a pick.
NFC side is more. You could probably pick a few and be safe with them. The AFC is just so wide open.
Yeah.
Um, NFC side, I think as much as I want to lean towards Seattle, I think the Eagles get something figured out, um, and make a special run. Even though I still would like the Rams or the Seahawks to do it.
Mhm.
AFC side is just so wide open. I do agree with Jeremiah. I think the Colts right now. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's playing MVP type level ball. Now the question is, can he keep doing that throughout the rest of the season? Kansas City, once they get hot, boy, they tough to beat.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to start that factoring in. Buffalo's another one. Baltimore. Um,
Honestly, I mean the Broncos defense is I think it's
the
good enough.
Bronc, you know,
When you
the
look
Bronc.
at how the Broncos, they kind of look like the Eagles
Hmm.
last year, just or maybe 2 years ago. That year that they had all those sacks,
Yeah,
um,
Hmm.
they're kind of similar to that team. So I mean, can't count the Broncos out. They have best record in the AFC right now as well. So
If we was get our, if we, and I think eventually it's going to click. Luckily, if we can somehow get the win against Kansas City, go into the bye week, man, that would be amazing. Um, if they can get the offensive woes figured out and really be at least even, I won't say more, but even if they just improve slightly, this team could be mentioned. I'm gonna have to, as much as I really would love, I'll also be biased, but as much as I would love for us to be in there, I think the defense makes us in that contendership position. Offense still concerns me. I'm gonna go if I just had to pick an AOC team. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give Josh Allen some credit. I'm still gonna give him one last chance before I just finally jump off that bandwagon that Buffalo won't ever get to the Super Bowl again. Um, let me give me Baltimore. Give me Buffalo and Philly as of right now. It could change obviously in 3 weeks, but let me just give it that for the heck of things.
well, since you gave a pick, I'll go ahead and give one as well. Let me go with ooh, um, Rams and
Hmm.
uh, give me best offense versus best defense. Rams versus Broncos in the Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford riding off into the sunset,
EP.
MVP Hall of Fame game to seal his career with a
That
Super
would do
Bowl.
it.
Um, I'll go Rams versus Broncos in the Super Bowl.
I love
Best
it.
offense versus best defense.
That'd be a good one.
Yep.
Well, I know one thing that would definitely be my family would be getting together because my dad's a big time Rams fan, so that could get interesting.
Oh, nice. Nice. You all would love that one for sure.
Absolutely.
Yep, yep. Before we get out of here, Mike, I know you're a Broncos fan. I know I'm a
Mhm.
Chiefs fan. Are you a betting man at all? I'm not a betting man at all, but are you a betting man before we get out of here?
I actually am not. I work too hard for my money, and my beliefs are
Really?
on the different side of things when it comes to that. But Um, and plus, I'm probably would be completely broke if I was. So, none,
Yep.
nonetheless, no, I don't actually bet money. Now, I may do a hey, if we lose, I'll do a T-shirt swap. I'll just take a selfie with the cheese shirt and whatever with it. But no, money wise, no,
That's what I was gonna say.
no.
If I'd be willing to go on the line and say if the Broncos win this game, I will buy a Bo Nix jersey. If the Chiefs win, would you be willing to get that Patrick Mahomes jersey and post it on Twitter or wear it on your next podcast episode or something like that? Let me know your thoughts on that.
Because I got a good buddy of mine. He's a big time. I've known him since the second grade and years ago. And he lives out in Arizona. He's a big time Chiefs fan. So him and I already have some friendly trash talking already going. Just for that, JD, I'll do it. I got you.
All right, all right.
I
If
got you.
put it on record right now. If the Broncos win, I'm buying a Bo Nix jersey. If the Chiefs win, we got Mike buying the Patrick Mahomes jersey, and we'll put it on Twitter. We'll wear it on our next podcast episode. I may do a short or something in it. But yeah, yeah, that is that for this episode. Look out for that. It's going to be interesting. Stakes on the line. I'm gonna be watching the game, sweating, hoping my Chiefs pull it out.
All right. I hate to tell you, JD. I think next week you're gonna be wearing orange instead of
You're gonna look good in both Knicks, JD. I promise you that. That
yeah.
number 10 is gonna look really mighty fine on you, JD.
Well, hey, it'll be the first jersey, football jersey I've got since a Cowboys jersey. So
True.
I will wear it if they. I'm a man of my word, and so
Mhm.
I'll buy it for sure if the Chiefs lose. But that's it for this episode of the Talking Sports Podcast. Mike, again, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thank you guys for having me.
Um,
It was a fun show. I truly enjoyed it.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll do it again next time for sure. And it's a longer episode for us, but watch it to the end, or just turn the volume low and just let it play. Whatever. Um, Thank you all. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace, and God bless.
Peace.